Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here with a quick recommendation for a documentary that I recently watched called God Bless Bitcoin. This documentary was brought to my attention after I posted about the fact that the Dutch government is going to introduce a ban on cash payments over 3,000 euros. Now, this is something that I am personally extremely concerned about, this war on cash money with the, to me, obvious end goal of introducing central bank digital currencies. Is something that, like I said, I'm very, very worried about because I believe that this will be the ultimate means to control essentially all of our lives. If the government can decide for you what you are allowed to spend or not spend your money on, it's pretty much over in terms of freedom.
Now, what it is they're trying to take, and when I say they, I mean central banks and the government, are trying to take the concept of fiat currency and digitize it into a digital dollar. Now, the challenge with this is that allowing the state to create these central bank digital currencies, it is creating a mechanism by which the government can surveil every single transaction.
And so I posted about this, and this post got swarmed by the Bitcoin community. And the Bitcoin community, I personally have great affinity for. I think that they're some of the most excited, most positive and solution-oriented people on the internet. And they recommended that I would check out this documentary called God Bless Bitcoin, just to get a further understanding, of why Bitcoin is a solution to all of the problems that I, see with our current, and that you guys, of course, are also seeing with our current financial system. I mean, the fact that our governments are able to print money into oblivion, which pushes inflation up and, basically eliminates our purchasing power. The fact that with that money that they're printing, they can fund wars, which destabilize nations, which only benefit the military-industrial complex.
Fiat money is used to fund wars. We've spent $8 trillion on regime change wars over the past 20 years. And all of those wars made America less safe and less secure and less rich. There was almost no debate about those wars beforehand. What do we get for those wars? Iraq is now worse off than we found it. When we destabilized every democracy in Europe, that process ended up with Brexit, with breaking up the European Union. The riots that we're now seeing in France are a direct result of that surge of immigration that was driven by our wars. So the taxpayer would never agree to fund those wars in advance. And the government doesn't want it, politicians don't want to go to the taxpayer and ask that permission. It's much easier for them to just declare the wars and then finance them by printing more money.
All of these things are things that the Bitcoin community sees and I think diagnoses extremely accurately, and then they propose a solution, which is Bitcoin. And so now I am by no means an expert on Bitcoin. I spoke at the Bitcoin conference last year in Amsterdam. Well, I'm still also new to it, and I'm starting to understand more and more about the technology and why, it really could be a solution. But if you don't know that much yet about Bitcoin, I would really, really recommend that you check this documentary, God Bless Bitcoin, out. It's filled with great people, such as, for example, Bobby Kennedy and all of these experts on Bitcoin who give a very detailed account of what Bitcoin is, how it works, and they explain it in extremely easy to understand terms. So even if you are someone like me who is very not techie, you will be able to understand what, the essence of Bitcoin is and how it's the opposite of something like central bank digital currencies. So highly recommend you guys checking this documentary, God Bless Bitcoin, out, and let me know what your thoughts are in general about Bitcoin, and if you have any other recommendations of books or movies or whatever that I could watch. But just wanted to point you guys in the direction of this documentary in the meantime.